Here's the thing about obsession. When people have a focus, when they have an obsession, very often it's boring to people who have other obsessions. You know, you could have a born-again Christian and their life seems as boring as anything. Probably the most boring thing you could possibly imagine. And to them, it's something very important. You have to kind of accept, okay, to them in their life, it is a very important facet of their existence. That's understandable, that's acceptable. But you might well be a complete bore when it comes down to something else. You could be obsessed with Fortnite, you know, the game Fortnite, which I've never played, I've never had the inclination. You could be into World of Warcraft or playing Final Fantasy Online or whatever the case may be, any number of games. You know, you're a big League of Legends fan or something, or play Star Wars The Old Republic or GTA Online or whatever the case. And if that's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea. But to everyone else, you might well be boring. Oh yeah, you play that thing and you play it online with your friends. Right, okay. Yeah, I don't really have an interest in it. Is it any good? You know, you're just being polite. Is it any good? Yeah. You know, so that's my attitude to religion nowadays. You know, unless you're preaching, unless you're shoving it down the throat, then I'm like, oh, you're a Muslim. Okay, that's cool. And how often do you go to mosque? Because I know some people who go every day, and it's like, oh, you go like once a month. You know, I used to know a guy in Birmingham who used to go once a year, but he was quite moderate, as you can imagine. He must be quite moderate too. And blah 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 blah. And you know, it doesn't change much. It's just like, oh, you do your own thing, and it's like, I don't want to be converted. Like, I don't want to join your Fortnite team and play Fortnite and end up being the last one who spawns in because of my slow connection speed, and then I end up on the other side of the map, which is a thing I believe that happens on occasion. Or due to my slow connection speed, I don't end up in the same lobby as you on GTA Online. I end up being kicked or dropped or whatever, or drop kicked, I don't know, whatever you would call it. And yeah, not my cup of tea, thank you, not my cup of tea. So just like religion, you know, well, we're having a meeting at the Kingdom Hall, you know, the Jehovah's Witnesses, local Jehovah's Witnesses. Would you like to come along? It's like, no, really have no interest. You know, they try and tell me, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses try and tell me the Bible says this, the Bible says that. There's all these things I'm meant to be accepting and taking on board, you know, if I was to take on board their belief. But to me, it's not worth it. I lack belief in it. I have no interest in it. To me, it's fiction, it's bad fiction, it's mythology coupled with a community and, you know, a modern view of that philosophy. And, you know, just like with any other Christian or perhaps any other religion in the modern day, in the modern sense, it doesn't chime in with me. And it's like with people who believe in crystals. They can believe in crystals, right? Yeah, crystalline structures do exist, and things that you call crystals might actually just be natural glasses or minerals that you call crystal because you call things crystals, and that might be very important to you, but to me it's not interesting. I don't want to go to your workshop, and if that works for you, if you have an interest, we can discuss it. I'd like to discuss maybe the minerals, like the history of the minerals, and point out if I'm going for a walk, you know, there's a stone that's been cracked open and you can tell that it's a quartzite. You know, I might point that out, but I don't really have an interest in the deep mysticism, you know, just like with people in Glastonbury and various other spiritual places, so-called spiritual places. I might meet a person who's Wiccan. They have their own set of ideas, and I might meet a person who's kind of New Age Buddhist, and they have a mixture of different ideas, different concepts, and largely it's, to be honest, laughable, but yeah, I don't want to get into a deep conversation and stuff they've read in books, which is probably false and new mythology, you know. At this location, there was this, that and the other, and there was a settlement and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, but what's the archaeology of this ancient location? Does it say all of that? Where do you get your information from? A guy who claimed to channel it from the Atlanteans? Yeah, it might not be so great. But it's not worth debating. That's the thing, it's not worth debating, it's not worth arguing over. And a debate doesn't have to be an argument, but it's not worth even the debate. A friendly debate. Oh, well, what about this? Well, you know, you can't confirm that with this, and what's the source for that? Oh, the source for that was in fact incorrect and not well supported, so almost certainly is absolutely false, etc., etc. And it's not worth it. You know, in most cases, That kind of thing on a daily basis isn't worth it. It's why I understand why some people get pissed with, evangelical Christians or anyone else who's evangelical, as well as outspoken militant atheists. It becomes a bore. And I don't think many people like boorish people. But I suppose that's obvious.